Another case that I've been following is the case that 26 John Doe's, essentially anonymous individuals, their identities have not been disclosed by the court, suing Elon Musk in his official capacity and DOGE. So I did a video on this. And again, all these videos I will link below, that if you want to watch those previous videos, I encourage you to do so to have a better understanding of the lawsuit. And so this case essentially was involving Elon Musk and DOGE dismantling USAID. And so they were employees terminated employees or contractors from USAID bringing this lawsuit trying to stop the actions of Elon Musk and DOGE. But as I pointed out in that earlier video, that the court really, he granted a temporary injunction, but it was really on shaky ground because he was trying to say these actions that Elon Musk is taking are like he should be a big O official or officer, and for that reason he needs to be confirmed by the Senate, which he hasn't been, and he can't take these actions because he hasn't been confirmed by the Senate. But even in his opinion, he admits that Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, who now USAID falls under the Secretary of State, and the current administrator of USAID essentially ratified, or they're the ones who actually took the action. And he even cites the case law that if the Senate confirmed official, Marco Rubio, right, ratifies or actually is the one who carries out these issues, then there's no separation of powers issues. There's no constitutional issue because, well, the person who was Senate confirmed actually took out and carried out the actions of the executive branch. And so even within his opinion, he almost contradicted himself because he still granted the temporary restraining order. And so this was appealed. It was appealed to the DC Circuit. So let's take a look at that opinion. We just got an opinion a couple of days ago from the DC Circuit on this issue. Okay, so this is the opinion that we've gotten from the appellate court, and I guess it's in the Fourth Circuit. I thought it was in the DC Circuit, but it looks like it's in the Fourth Circuit. So they've considered it, the issue, and they have stayed that preliminary injunction pending the appeal. And so they provide their analysis and their reasons, and I will link this opinion below so you could read it for yourself. But essentially, it just goes through the facts of the case, explaining the background, and it talks about how, hey, Marco Rubio and the acting administrator have ratified these actions. And because of that, it's resolved any sort of constitutionality issue of these actions because, right, agency discretion and the president's inherent authority to direct foreign policy, that's fine. They can do that. There's no issue. And later it talks about how essentially the parties to the lawsuit they've brought the lawsuit against the wrong people. They should have brought the lawsuit, right? They brought it against Elon Musk and DOGE. And I think the reason they did that is because they wanted to grab the headlines and put it in the news, and also bring up a bunch of tweets, or whatever they're calling them these days, posts on X that Elon Musk did. And the court even talked about that this appellate court was at the lower court. That's kind of all the evidence that this lower court judge relied on to grant this preliminary injunction were posts on the internet and news stories. He didn't rely on actual evidence. And so they call that out, which I thought was interesting. But essentially their argument is, hey, you brought this lawsuit against the wrong people. You should have brought it against Marco Rubio and the acting administrator of USAID. And essentially they really signaled that they're going to lose this lawsuit if they proceed. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this case, but if I were the attorneys for the plaintiffs, the appellants, I would probably dismiss it and then refile against the Marco Rubio and the USAID administrator. But maybe this case wasn't filed to win the lawsuit. Maybe it was just filed to do just kind of that, to drag Elon Musk into the news and make a bunch of hay about what's happening with DOGE and USAID. So I don't know. We'll see, but I'll follow this case. But that's what's currently the current decision in this case is that that temporary restraining order has been stayed pending appeal. So essentially, DOGE and Department of Homeland Security, or sorry, the Department of State can proceed with the dismantling of USAID. And so that's a good result for the Trump administration in that case. Thank you for joining me. And if you got any value out of the content, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm a new channel, so please help spread the word. I really appreciate your sharing this message out there. If you have any comments or questions or requests for additional content, please put them in the comments below. Thank you.